All right, it is time to talk about Those Books book with the 39 steps. Ooh, I'm tempted to count to 39, but I think that'll take too long. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I am here to share my thoughts today about The 39 Steps by John Buchan. This is on my Those Books list, and it makes the list by being number 138 on the BBC Big Read. I was actually a little surprised it didn't make any of the other lists, but it didn't, so it was just the one list. This was written in 1915, and it was serialized, which you can kind of tell. Now that I've read some more older texts, I get the sense, you can sort of get the sense when something's serialized because each of the chapters is sort of like its own adventure, and leaves you hanging because that's what they do. Depending, I don't think all serialized ones do that, but a lot of serialized ones do that. So this one, I actually did this as a buddy read with my buddy Patty. Hi, Patty! And this one was my pick, and I would have to say overall, this one was not the strongest of Those Books list. I did not enjoy it as much as I was anticipating, and overall it's pretty dry. But I chose it because I thought it would be fun to do something a little bit different, to have something that was sort of mystery-ish kind of one. It's kind of mystery, kind of adventure. And it wasn't that long, so I thought, let's knock this one out. So that was some of the reasons why I chose it. This one's a bit of a hard one. One of the questions I always ask about Those books is, did I understand it? And this one I would have to say sort of like half and half. It has this like longer story that's a mystery. We follow a character who is very early on in the book. Someone approaches him and tells him that someone is planning on killing me, like someone's going to kill me, and then the protagonist actually finds the man dead. And so it's an interesting, intriguing premise to start off with, but I did find very quickly I didn't understand the actions of our protagonist like at all, because when this happens, what he decides to do is just take off, like he just like and just like very has quite creatively, and I just I didn't understand the motivation behind that, and I didn't understand the motivation behind a lot of his actions. One of the things that was kind of intriguing retrospectively thinking about the character is that he is kind of, I don't know if I would go as far to say morally gray, but he definitely does creatively find his way out of situations, often by impersonating people other than himself, because he's on the run. He takes off and then the police are after him, so he's constantly on the run, hiding, pretending to be someone else, trying to win people's favor, acting as if he's someone else. They talk about acting a lot. But the weird thing is, we as the reader also know that he didn't do it. So I found it conflicting to me as a reader, to try and be rooting for someone, because I know he didn't do it, he's innocent of this, but then also to be experiencing the fact that he's doing all of these things that I don't think are appropriate. But is he doing them out of need? Is he doing them out of desire? There is this sort of element of like, how far can you take this, or will you be able to win them over, or how deep do you have to go within yourself to act in this way, and all of these some interesting questions. But I found it like, I found it troubling because it's like, didn't do it. So, like, it feels like seeing someone dig them deeper in a hole, but maybe he didn't have confidence in the justice system that they would, see it to it that he didn't do it. So, I don't know. That's a question too. That's a very good question. But I do find like there were definitely, because it was in this sort of serialized format, I did find that there were certain chapters that were very engaging and interesting and adventures in and of themselves. But overall, the overarching plot, I didn't find that interesting, because you're holding with the running away for a lot. And then with the sort of overarching plot, I was like, what? Like, it just felt like, what? Some of the things that were sort of pulled together, like, it felt like out of nowhere, were a little surprising in terms of the mystery theme, but it could be because of the setting, in terms of, reading, if you read it at the time, you know, it might be more like those connections might be easier to make because they're sort of more political. So I don't know, but for me, I was like, that really felt like it was out of left field, or that I didn't see that coming, or why would he be the one to notice this, and that kind of stuff. So overall, I would say I didn't really enjoy it that much. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting, but I wasn't, you know, I wasn't expecting that much. The connection to the film felt like even more distant after reading it. I felt like I didn't think like it matched up to the film I remember from my memory at all. And I definitely wasn't, like, it didn't leave a super great impression on me. I am glad that because I've been reading some of the older texts throughout this whole adventure, that I did feel like I did understand most of it. I didn't really get sort of the overarching story as clear, but the smaller like individual chapters, the story within a chapter, that was fine. It was a bit dry, you know, it wasn't, to me, it wasn't that engaging, but I did mostly get it. So there was that. And it wasn't that long. It is part of the public domain, so if you are interested in reading it, I will leave a link to the Amazon where you can get it for free on Kindle if you're curious to read it. I'm sure that like my reaction to it, everyone's gonna just go running to read it. If you did read it and enjoy it, I would love to hear your thoughts as to what it was about the book that you enjoyed, because I am really curious about how, like, why it's on this list, who are the people that voted for it, like what was it, what iconically, is there something iconically or culturally that I'm missing, which could easily be the case, and but also in terms of like the element, like the fact that it's sort of like a mystery. I don't read a lot of mysteries, so maybe it's there. I don't know. I will say it was one of the shorter ones, so it wasn't too painful in terms of that. I think I knocked out most of it in an afternoon or two, so that wasn't too bad. But overall, it was definitely not my favorite. But you know, it wasn't like it was like thought the rating was okay. It was just something subject matter wise, and the questions, the gray sort of morality stuff. It was a little like. Anyone has any context on that, love to hear it, because maybe there is some context I'm missing on what's going on there. So yeah, not the best pick. So sorry, Patty. I did not win the Buddy Reed pick for that for sure. In terms of I didn't win because it was not the best choice. I have no idea what I'm going to be reading next in terms of those books list. I don't think I'm in the middle. Oh, I am in the middle of Far From the Madding Crowd. One day I'll finish that. Don't think it's likely it's the next thing I'm going to finish. It's possible. It's possible. Maybe I should go back and look and see what's the next, another really short one. Anyway, I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that you enjoyed this review. I do review all of those books, so even when they aren't my favorites. So hopefully the next one will be a favorite. There's always hope. There is always hope. Okay, thank you for watching.